What's going on, everybody? It's Davey from the 80s, and you are now entering the Cinema Chop Shop. So park your ass right there. And while you're there, don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the subscribe button. Also, if you check the link below, you see a Patreon account. You click it, you can become a member. All you got to do is try to recommend movies, music, and trailers for me to react to. Now, with that being said, we are here today with the review for Nobody Buddy. So basically, the movie is called Nobody. So if you guys have seen Friday, you know where the Nobody Buddy is from. Anyway, this movie is a brand new film, and it's by the director that made Hardcore Henry. Now, the director, since I now after watching this movie and I figured out that the director's from Hardcore Henry, it makes sense why the action in this movie was so well done. Now, this movie is basically about a dad who just goes to work, comes home, and just does the same damn thing every day. His life is boring, it's dull, it's just like who cares, right? Excuse me. His life is just so boring, just so full of like nothing that one day somebody breaks into his house and all of a sudden he just like does these eyes where you're just like, oh, it's about to go down. And I'm not spoiling anything because this damn thing is in the trailer. Anyway, so he doesn't end up hitting them. And then basically he goes on this long freaking mission trying to, I guess, scratch this itch. It turns out that my man used to be like an FBI agent or used to work for the government. And my man is basically trained to kill. Like he's that man. Like everybody knows him. Well, nobody knows him, but everybody has heard of him and they're afraid of him. They know that he can just produce massive amounts of damage. Um, with that being said, this movie feels like a ripoff of John Wick. And I mean, John Wick isn't really much like to hype up as it is. John Wick is a freaking fun movie. It's dope as shit. But I'm just saying, like, as in a realm of originality, the idea is not unheard of. Like we've heard of ideas like John Wick billions of times before. It's nothing new. It's just reinventing the wheel. And this movie does the exact same thing, but with less character, with less charisma, with less soul, right? I'm gonna be honest, man. Like the main actor, Bob Odenkirk, he's whatever, bro. I mean, I don't. I liked his portrayal of the character. He came off as a badass, but it's not something where I'm just like, yo, this dude was dope as shit. Like, I mean, I want more of this. I mean, I'm honestly cool with a one and done movie of this shit. I mean, it has franchise potential, but me personally, I'm one and done. Like I'm cool with just watching one movie. I'm completely fine with that. The fact that the main cast is overshadowed by the supporting cast, which are just like to me like cameos. Like you have Chris Lloyd, Great Scott, Back to the Future, right? Doc Brown, you have him in the movie who is freaking dope and funny every time he's on camera, right? My man literally puts in work and it's the funniest shit ever. Then you also have the RZA. Yes, Wu-Tang RZA. RZA is in this damn movie. I didn't expect him to pop up. It was the most random shit ever. So when I seen him, I was like, wow, that's dope. The fact that the supporting cast snatched more of the attention away from me than the main cast is pretty bad. Outside of the action, this movie doesn't have much going for it. I understand that this movie is like rated fresh by Rotten Tomatoes and is hyped and all that shit. It's a fun popcorn flick. Don't get me wrong. It's a dope action movie, but it's nothing special. It is nothing that I would say is just ridiculously special. And it's something that I would say that you need to like go watch right now. Is it something to watch? Oh, definitely. With the lack of movies and content that we have right now, I would definitely recommend you to watch this movie. Would I recommend paying for it? This movie is worth this movie is worth, like an early bird special from AMC or whatever the case may be, It's worth one of those. But would I pay full price for this movie? Hell no. To the no, no, no. I'm keeping it a buck here, bro. I wouldn't pay full price to watch this movie. This is not something that I'm like day one trying to catch. This is something that I can honestly wait till his $2 movie type deal. I shout outs to Cole for hooking me up with a way to watch it. But like I said, it's a fun movie to watch. It's a dope action movie, and with the lack of movies out right now, a lot of these movies are getting a lot of bias from me and are getting a lot of passes from me. But it's not, like I said, this movie is nothing really original about this movie. It's nothing that's like just, you know, so is this something that you have to see? Not something that you have to see, but I would recommend watching it at the theaters. I think a theater experience for this movie would be very beneficial for people. Um, Seeing it on the big screen with the big speakers and hearing all the impact and things like that, I think that benefits people more than a home experience. So I am going to spare this movie.
He ain't earned the death. He ain't earned the death at my hands. God's only man, spared by the butcher.
Yes, you heard it, folks. Luckily, this movie just skipped by just by a grain of salt. Like, you know, once it gets past a certain marker, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that it is worth experiencing at least once, right? At the cheapest way possible. You know, this isn't one of the movies where I'm telling you to stay away from. It's not one of the movies I'm telling you you could live without, but it's definitely one of the movies that I would recommend watching, but in the cheapest way possible. Now, with that being said, let me know if you agree or disagree, whatever the case may be. Drop it in the comments section down below. And you are now exiting the Cinema Chop Shop. Hope you guys are having a great day. Adios.